this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rina Valentin, your Café con Leche host this December morning. We've got so much to share with you today on Open, the show that brings you all the best in the city and the world straight to you. And here's a taste of what to expect today. First, some wintry fun in our Open Weekend preview. Then we'll talk to a Bronx artist who will be painting live on set today. And the Lehman College Small Business Center's Clarence Stanley will discuss how you can start your own business in 2013. Bobby C's got this week's sports roundup, and in our Open Artist Spotlight, we'll reveal the live painting. So stay tuned. All that is coming your way because now we are officially open. We've got a fun show ahead, but remember, we are always interested in hearing from you, so keep in touch. Visit us online by going to bronxnet.org, or you can tweet us by going to @BronxNetTV. Actually, tweet us at BronxNetTV. That's 2 T's. And, of course, you can tweet me personally at Rina Valentin, and also remember to like us on Facebook. All right, so it's time to get festive in our Open Weekend preview. First up, the New York Botanical Gardens Holiday Train Show. The cherished tradition that delights people of all ages returns. Marvel at the model trains and landmark replicas, stroll spectacular grounds, decorate ginger snaps, and enjoy all the new things this year, like the artist studio and a working model of Macy's flagship store. And, well, for hours and details, you can go to nybg.org, and that is effective until January 1st. Yes, it is until January 1st, and it's weekdays, Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the Holiday Train Show is effective to January 13th, excuse me. But it will be closed for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so don't go on those days. All right, next up, we've got BRAC's Winter Seminar. BRAC on the Block continues for the 3rd year while renovations continue on the original location. Registration will be open at the temporary headquarters at 2064 Boston Road at 179th Street and benefit from a special holiday discount. That's right. They've got $10 off when you register by December 31st. And the classes run from Thursday, December 27th through Saturday, March 23rd of 2013. For class schedules or brochures, you can check them out by going to bronxriverart.org/education.cfm. I hope you had a pen. And if all else fails, you can call them by just dialing 718-589-5819, 589-5819. All right, the Bronx River Art Center is located at 2064 Boston Road, once again at 179th Street, and that is in the Bronx. And finally, a storybook Christmas at Bartow Pell Mention Museum. That's right. Get ready to snuggle up with the kiddies. Trees decorated by artists and designers. Yeah, that's sure to delight. And see your favorites like Curious George, Eloise, Raggedy Ann and Andy, and others in full holiday mode. For more details, you can go to www.bpmm.org. And that is what we have for you this week. Lots of great events to get you in the holiday spirit. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be visiting with artist Nelson, the host one, Santiago. He's here on Open. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. His first pitch is fouled to
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
This is so cool, Dad. Awesome. This is so cool, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who take you just as you are.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the beach? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Hello, welcome back to Open, and we are here with Nelson Santiago, who's formerly known as Host One. He's here on the set, and well, he's been busy working on an exclusive painting, and well, he's going to be working on an exclusive painting, is what I should say. And we're going to have a little conversation with him about, well, the name Host One, where he's been, and a little about his technique, because I believe Host One is a graffiti name, right?
Yes.
So just share a little bit about that.
Well, when I was about 9 years old, where I grew up in the Bronx, which is like 174th and Southern Boulevard, like I used to hang out with the older kids, and the older kids were doing graffiti, and I was already into art. I started drawing when I was 4 years old, and I used to sketch and paint, and everyone wasn't doing what I was doing, so I just caught up in doing graph, and I was used to write graph for about 10 years.
For about 10 years, right? So you're a graph artist, right? That's the term.
But
well,
like,
but now you're right. I was just going to lead it up to the fact that you actually stopped to raise your kids, which is really an inspirational story we're very interested in hearing.
Right, because graffiti. For me, in the beginning, it was just like it was a good time. It was a good time to get with your friends, and you go into yards and you ride on trains and you go around the city putting your name up, and it was fun. And then after a while, it became a little too serious. And then
serious in the sense that you would get in trouble for doing it.
Yeah, getting in trouble, and people knocking on my grandmother's door at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for me and things like that.
Right.
So I just wanted to get away from that life. But then when I was 18 years old, my daughter was born.
Right.
And I had made a choice to either keep going the same path I was going, which wasn't good, or raise my daughter.
Right.
And I chose to do that, and I was raising my kids.
Nice. And so in this break, what you did learn, which, we'll just say the beauty of, I guess, exercising graffiti art, right? Aside from, I think it's a beautiful form of art, but the speed is required, right? Which is why you're going to be able to paint a live painting with us here on set.
Right.
So you're like trained in a certain manner that, of course, comes from doing graffiti art, as fast as you can so that you don't get in trouble.
Right. But also, too, like, in the past 5 years, I've been doing a lot of live painting events. I go into different venues, galleries, lounges, and I set up with another artist, and we paint live in front of everyone, and that also has helped with what I'm doing now.
Yeah, now that's a new trend also, right? So just share a little bit about that transition for you with the live painting, like, because you're actually part of like poetry slams and it's like a joint effort, right? So like, how does that work?
Well, usually I'm asked to be involved in some events. You're right. It's usually a poet. It's like a melting pot. You say they have poetry, they'll have bands, they have singers, and then they'll also have live painters, and also showing their artwork as well. And it's kind of weird because like when I was raising my family, I did no type of art. I stopped art. Period. Didn't do anything. Maybe sketch here and there, but nothing else. And then I met a friend of mine. I saw her getting involved. I saw her doing like a lot of events, and I just sent her a message to say, listen, I'm just curious, how do you get involved? How do you do all these type of things? And she was like, just come with me.
Is that Magdalisha?
Magdalisha.
We love her here. We love her. We've had her on a couple of times.
That is my art crush there. She's the best. I love her. She's great. She didn't even know me really, and she just said, listen, just come with me. And she took me to a couple events, and I just fell in love with doing live painting. I love it. Anyone asks me, you don't have to ask me twice. I'll go.
Nice. That's nice. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing what you come up with today. Right. And can you give us a little hint? No? Yeah, maybe a little?
That's the thing about me. I never go with any like sketches or references or what have you. Whatever comes out of my head, that's what I do.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that. All right. Nelson in the house. Nelson Santiago. Just Nelson Santiago, the artist, the live painting artist. Right. And if people wanted to obtain more information on you, where would they go?
Well, I'm on Facebook. You can find me. I'm actually working on a website now. Also, I paint at a place called Dinner at Ludlow every Tuesday down in 95th Delancey Street. We're there live painting. I'm there as well. And Camaradas, the last Sunday of the month, they do a thing called El Barrio Pinta.
Nice.
I'm there painting live as well.
Nice. And you're also on Raw Artists, right?
I am a Raw artist. Yeah, I was just finished. They just finished their yearly competition. I didn't make the cut, but I was close.
Yeah, but you're still part of their roster. So congratulations on that. All right.
Thank you.
Woo! We are so excited to have Nelson painting live here. Once again, for more Nelson, you can check him out by going to rawartist.org/Nelson AK21. And well, you're gonna have to stay tuned for more on Nelson because Nelson's actually going to be painting throughout the show. We're really excited about that. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Clarence Stanley of the Small Business Development Center is here. But first, the holidays are here, and we'll be playing greetings to you from all of us here at BronxNet. And, well, here's a greeting from the Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr.
Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. This year we have a lot to be grateful for. I certainly do in my life. And I know that all of you throughout the city of New York do as well. When we look at the havoc that Hurricane Sandy wreaked throughout our region, we know that there's so much that we have to be thankful for and so much that we need to cherish. During this holiday season, we get so many folks who want us to go out there and buy and purchase materialistic things. Well, Sandy taught us all that materialism is not everything. That being with family, that being in good health, those are the things that we really need to hold dear to our hearts. So during this holiday season, don't just go out there and shop and look for the materialistic things. Go out there and do something good and give to one of your fellow New Yorkers. It is the perfect way to celebrate this holiday season. So once again, this is Ruben Diaz Jr., and I just wanted to wish you a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a wonderful and prosperous New Year.
Did you find the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. You up? What'd you dream about? Me? JK. Text me back. I'll keep texting till you wake up. Are your parents home later? Is this something I did? Exclamation point. We're in a huge fight right now. This isn't a joke. Hello? Text me.
So here are the keys. Congratulations, it's officially yours. I'm sure you'll have many happy years here. Except for you, because you'll be gone 3 years from now, struck down by the same disease that got your father. So you won't be around for them. And sadly, it could have been detected early with a simple test, but you didn't have it. Okay, who wants to check out the backyard?
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Hey, welcome back to Open. And you know, New Year's is around the corner, and it's usually all about a new outlook and changing for the better. And well, what better way to start 2013 than with your own business? We've got just the man to tell you how to do this on set with us here. Please welcome to the show, Clarence Stanley. Hello, hello.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure.
Okay, so just share with everybody, you're the executive director of the Small Business Development Center here at Lehman.
Campus at Lehman College. This is we're part of the U.S. Small Business Administration, and our mission is to help folks realize their dreams and to encourage folks to start businesses, particularly in this environment. I think I've been here for 13 years. I'm a retired banker. So my last 30, 40 years have been in the financial segment. And I'm looking at opportunities right now, and I want to encourage my constituents and the folks in the Bronx to get started. Now is an excellent time to start a business.
Okay, so why are you saying like now is an excellent time? Well, just considering that, you know, there's all these financial and there's so many people unemployed, like just share with everybody why you're suggesting that.
If you think about what's happened, and let's talk about interest rates by themselves. I recall when the prime lending rate, which is the rate that banks lend to their primary customers, was as high as 20%. Now we're looking at an interest rate environment where interest rates have never, ever been lower. You're looking at a prime lending rate of 3.25%, which is extremely low. The banks are borrowing money from the Fed at zero because of this economic bailout, trying to turn this economy around. So what we've done now in the financial segment is brought interest rates down to a point where you can borrow money at a very, very low rate. And so I encourage folks to take advantage of that now. And also what's happening in the real estate market. Now, I talk to a lot of my business owners about renting versus owning. You've seen property prices, commercial real estate property transactions come down to a very affordable. You can almost now buy a piece of property for what you would normally rent a piece of property for. So there are two things going on right now. Yes, the economy, we're coming out of a very, very bad period. Probably one of the worst economic periods we've gone through almost in history since the Depression. We're coming out of that now. Now you see periods where there's opportunities abounding. You see things changing. You start to see, take a look at the industries that are interested right now. We've got a population where folks in the Bronx and in New York can take advantage of low interest rates, real estate prices down, and I think things are starting to turn. And now's a good time to think about not working for someone, you know, rich dad, poor dad, but working for yourself.
Okay, so the thing about that is, like, you know, one would say this is a very risky time to do something like that. So let's just say somebody's watching right now and they're very interested in opening up their own business. What would be the steps that they would take in order to do so?
Okay, a good question. You know, it's just take a look at, you need to start researching what's available. Take a look at what society needs. Take a look at what your strengths are. You know, whatever strength you can bring. If you don't have the strength, develop that strength. And take a look at the opportunities. For example, we know the healthcare, people are living longer, and the healthcare segment is a big segment to get involved with. You know, we have programs at Lehman College through our School of Continuing Education, where we're talking to folks about going to the pharmacy tech classes and learn to become a pharmacy technician, taking income tax classes, learning to prepare taxes. And so we have several party planners and I talk to folks, say, instead of working for someone, when you finish that course, think about working for yourself. And the bottom line, whatever you earn, pay yourself first. Begin to take advantage of some of these tax advantages. We don't know what's going to happen with this whole fiscal cliff thing. I think it will eventually settle. So take advantage of looking at an opportunity to work for yourself and pay yourself. When you talk about the affordable, everyone in the Bronx talks about affordable wages.
Right.
And affordable wages, they say, is $11.50. Well, you know what? That's still poverty.
Right.
And so,
Right.
and employers are looking to keep their costs down. If you're working for someone, they're not there to pay you. They're looking to make money.
Right.
So I want you to turn the road. I want you to become that owner, that
Right.
entrepreneur. You to own that company.
Now, just because you're actually focused on the financial aspect of it, which is, most people don't want to go into business because of the tax issues and everything that comes with that responsibility. Can you share a little bit about like tax credits or small businesses and things of that
excellent.
nature?
What's very interesting, and we have a lot of business owners I speak to all the time that are trying to not report taxes, keep their taxes down. I say, how do you keep your taxes down? Well, guess what? There are a lot of legitimate tax advantages to understanding the tax code, and the federal government and the IRS will actually work with small business owners as opposed. And one of my challenges I've had as a director here, and I'm talking to all my constituents, my tax preparers and my accountants, to try and get our clients to start, the folks in the Bronx and in New York, just to start reporting taxes, take advantage of tax credits, set up a retirement plan for yourself. There are a lot of, if you understand the code, just get yourself a good tax preparer, a good accountant, and have this person become not just your accountant, but become your advisor.
So when you say retirement plans, are you referring to 401ks and IRAs?
401ks, IRAs. When you start a business, you may be not in a position to just get started, to start saving money. You want to get yourself to a position where you're starting to earn some money. Once you start to earn some money, start thinking about having adequate insurance. Key person, we never think about death and dying, but I talk to folks about, look, you want to have business continuation. If something happens to you, you want your family to be taken care of. So you can set up an insurance policy or anything and pay it through your corporation. And
pay it through your corporation. And we're talking about life insurance, health insurance,
liability insurance, and understanding the tax code. These are legitimate business expenses. And then when you begin to start to, if you're in a position to start saving money, set money aside for your retirement. Okay, and that again becomes a tax advantage for you as an owner. So I encourage you, if you want to start a business, by all means, give us a call at the Small Business Development Center.
The thing about all of, I just want to share with you guys, what's really going on here, right? It's a strategy. It's a strategy of how to live and how to bring in the new year, as opposed to working for someone, working for yourself, and still having the benefits of what you would go and work for an employer for.
Exactly.
And so Mr. Stanley is actually here on campus, and they actually can assist in this process.
I have certified business advisors on staff, myself, and we have 4 advisors. We're now working with SCORE, retired executives. We have a lot of constituents, a lot of folks in the Bronx dedicated to trying to make a difference in the economic environment of Bronx County.
Right.
The merchants associations, the bids, we're all working together, and there's a partnership here. The Borough President's Office, BOEDC, we work very closely with them. And funding now, access to capital is our main strength. The Small Business Administration, what we do is we will work with the business owner, help you put together a detailed business plan. That's important, have a business plan. You work that plan, you do the financial projections, then we find a lender. We find a lender that will put together a financial proposal, get you a loan, and we can encourage the banks to provide you with the financing because the SBA will stand behind the loan by providing an SBA guarantee.
Nice.
So we guarantee, so we get the banks an added incentive to want to pump some money into this economy. That's important. You need financing. We just did a workshop last week on social media, the big thing.
Right.
You need the money, but you need the customers.
Right.
And in Bronx County, we've got 1.4 million people ready to do business with you.
Right.
So you set up the right model, set up the products and services that service our community, and you can make a go of this thing.
Okay, so just because, we're in the artist genre, we had a brief conversation about, like, even an artist can do a DBA and be considered a business.
Right.
Can you just share with the viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're talking about
a DBA, which is doing business as.
Doing business as, which is a sole proprietor. And you kind of encourage it. The sole proprietorship is probably the easiest thing to start. You just go to the county clerk and you get your DBA certificate, but you open yourself up to some liability. So it's easy in terms of taxes. You just file a Schedule C, you do a sole proprietor, you do your, and you can it passes the profits and losses right to your 1040. But I recommend you set up a corporation. Become a plain old-fashioned C corp. I'm an old accountant. The other guys,
right.
You do a Schedule C, set up your corporation that reduces your exposure to liabilities. Okay, hopefully you're not going to get sued or anything, but just in case something does go wrong, you want to protect yourself. So you got to incorporate yourself. It's fairly easy to incorporate yourself. You do need, it's advisable to have a lawyer, but you can just go right directly to the Secretary of State, and go online and begin to look at incorporating yourself. And then you switch from a C corporation to an S corporation for tax purposes. Get your tax ID number and open up a bank account. You're basically in business. I talked to a lot of artists.
Do you recommend that artists do this? Like, I'm referring to artists of all, forms. Like, for example, my makeup artist, she's the makeup artist here, but she's an independent contractor. So just in being an independent contractor and going out and doing other jobs, like, would it be best for her to just get a DBA or actually do an LLC or Inc. or
I know that DBA is enticing a lot of folks. So let me get a DBA because it's easy. But I want to. My job is to kind of protect you.
Right.
When you file a C corporation, I know LLCs are kind of in vogue right now. You become a limited liability corporation. You can do that as well. Yes, of course you do need, when you register your LLC, you do have to do a filing. You do have to print twice a year, and it can be kind of expensive. As an old accounting, I would say a C corporation and switching to an S corporation is the simplest thing to do. You do have to file a tax return every year. It's important. Once you get started with a corporation, even if you earn little or no money, you need to file a tax return. If that's a downside, but it's not a downside, it's an upside. So you will have a track record. And if you want to later on, I think it's important to get yourself started. Because if you want to, for example, look later on to get a government contract as an artist, you're not going to get a government grant. Look for a government contract. You get certified as a minority certified business owner. You will have a track record because they want you to be in business for at least a year, 2 years in some cases. So by being incorporated, or I recommend incorporation, and they'll ask, how long have you been in business? Well, I've been in business for 3 years. Okay, and you file taxes. That's important. And if you are generating some revenue, okay, that's even cost. That's more important.
Right.
Okay,
right,
but
right.
Generating, you do have a track record, and you demonstrated to that government contract you're applying for that you had the capacity to perform as an artist, or if you want to start an after-school program or something of that nature as an artist to teach youth. There could be a government contract out there, but you've got a track record. You proved that you could do that.
Nice.
So that's important to have your tax returns done.
Yes. Wow, you're a wealth of knowledge. I mean, we could just spend a whole show on this just because it's really about, just
so
raising the bar so that we're not just, operating as struggling artists, which is the term that usually comes with artists. And I hope that helps some of you guys. And once again, Mr. Clarence Stanley is located here on campus. Is there more information that you can
right
give?
here at Lehman College. You can have my telephone number up. It's 718-960-8806. Right here in Common Hall. Our doors are open. We would welcome the opportunity to speak to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Once again, the Tax Planning Strategies for Small Businesses workshops will be taking place on January 16th right here at Lehman College. And to find out more, you can give them a call at 718-960-8806. After the break, it's the Sports Roundup with Bobby C. But first, the Jerome Gunhill tree lighting event happened recently, and yours truly was there to help the season start. Let's take a look.
As we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman. Then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no man. But you
at the first annual Christmas tree lighting at Green Streets Park at Marshall Loop Parkway and Jerome Avenue, where kids are already lined up to see Santa and all the gifts he's going to be giving away.
All for the little ones' Christmas joys. Oh, who wouldn't go? Who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, click, click. Down to
it is extremely exciting to be here. We haven't had a Christmas tree lighting over here in a few years.
I encourage anyone that's out there, if you're feeling a little down and out, get over here and join the festivities with us. You'll feel vibrant all over again.
An indication, I think, it's something new. It's indication of the upswing in the neighborhood, which I definitely see.
It's amazing. It definitely boosts up my confidence a lot.
Expect it to be as big as this, and I guess the fact that we do a lot of marketing, we're a marketing-based company / event planners, it worked really well strategically.
This is what Santa came rolling in on, okay? And you know what? He's busy giving out gifts, so I'm gonna sneak in there.
Santa's sleigh,
right?
With the reindeer ears up, nose in the front, ready to go.
This is a really great way to kick off the holiday season. I think now, we've got like a number of weeks now until Christmas, and this gives people a really good sense of like what's going on. They can come out here, do their gift shopping, just spread some joy in the community. So we're really happy to be able to do that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go Bronx!
BX, baby. BronxNet in the house. Bling. Arena Valentine reporting for BronxNet.
Who wouldn't go?
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Did you know that getting up and getting active for just 60 minutes a day is all it takes to help you get stronger, look better, and feel great?
Or that fresh fruits and veggies aren't just healthier and crunchier, they can taste better too?
Eating better and getting more active is easier than you think.
Yeah! Keep watching for some fun and easy ways to discover the magic of healthy living in your life.
America.
Let's get healthy together!
The holiday season is upon us, and from everyone here at our home to everyone nestled in front of the big screen at yours, we wanted to wish all happiness and cheer and all the best during the season and the new year. It's this time of year that brings families and friends closer together, and I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate 2012 than with one more magical look back at the year in sports. With our BronxNet cameras rolling for not only the best in local action, but also many of the top stories nationally, it was hard to decide whether or not to reflect on the year in sports as a whole, or simply keep it closer to home. Then it occurred to me, many of the best sports stories in the world happen right here. The proverbial place to be, the city that never sleeps, the place that legendary singer Frank Sinatra once said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So true, old Blue Eyes. So without further ado, and in the tradition of our sports show, Sports NYC, we stay 5 barrels strong for the top 10 sports stories of 2012. Join me for the countdown. Coming in at number 10, we have plenty to be thankful for here in the Bronx, thanks to our locals and not just those in the pros. Our Bronx youth gave new meaning to the phrase, the sky's the limit. Earlier in the year, our BronxNet cameras took a glimpse inside St. Ray's, where the Ravens were the darlings of the high school basketball scene in New York City. We paid tribute to our local stars of tomorrow with a look back at the CHSAA champs, St. Ray's, the jewel in the Bronx crown of high school hoops.
It was a great environment. We really worked hard to get to this point. It's one of our goals all year to try to cut down the nets and win the championship for this group. It was an exciting day. We had a great battle on our hands. We really wanted to use our depth and our pressure to wear down a very good Holy Cross team.
Best part of the season, winning the city championship. That was the best day, and my teammates just stepping up when I was down, and I just basically being there for one another in the locker room.
Speaking of jewels, how about the Kings of the Diamond? We cap number 10 on the countdown, the local stars of tomorrow, with a group of youngsters that realize their dreams on the biggest diamond there is in the Bronx. Tuesday night's second annual Borough President's Cup Little League Championship had all the makings of a fall classic, the proverbial World Series of Little League Baseball in the Bronx. Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. and the Yankees welcomed the defending champion New York Raiders and the Bronx Bombers to the big ballpark, honoring the two teams for their dedication to more than just America's pastime. Players for each Little League had to meet a set of requirements unrelated to their performance on the field, including keeping a B average in school, 90% or greater attendance, and a commitment to community service.
The kids are extraordinary, and they are extremely talented on that diamond. What we should be really commending is the fact that these are our brightest who have committed themselves to their studies and committed themselves to the community.
Youngsters today are growing up so fast, even freshmen are winning the Heisman. Well, that was the story on the College Gridiron in 2012. It may be a national award, but the who's who of college football always makes its way to the Big Apple this time of year. To celebrate it, here's number 9. Johnny Football. How about Johnny Heisman? Texas A&M first-year quarterback Johnny Manziel made Heisman Trophy history Saturday night at the Best Buy Theater in Times Square. The 78th winner of arguably the most famous award in sports, Manziel is the first freshman to take home the coveted honor.
Being able to break that barrier, it's such an honor. It's so humbling for me to be the first freshman to win and really make history.
He won by a solid margin, topping Notre Dame senior linebacker Manti Te'o and Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein. Manziel, a redshirt freshman, would not be denied thanks to his sheer performance. Perhaps even more impressive when you consider his 6'1" stature. Manziel just played bigger on Saturdays. Johnny Football became the first freshman to ever win the Heisman Trophy. The first sophomore to ever take home the award is a legend in Gainesville, Florida, and arguably among the most controversial figures in sports today. Tim Tebow went from college star to first-round draft pick to leading the Denver Broncos to the playoffs a year ago. But when Denver decided it would rather roll the dice on Peyton Manning, who was working his way back from injury, Tebow hit the trade market, and where else would he want to be? New York City. Sounds dramatic, sounds like a fit for the New York Jets. Number 8 on my top 10 New York sports stories of 2012 belongs to the most legendary backup quarterback in NFL history. Despite contending, things never really worked out for Tebow and the Jets. Some injured ribs and an inability to ever get the Wildcat off bounds squashed Tebowing in the NYC. But back here in the Bronx, there was plenty of shadow boxing, the preferred sport of our executive director, Michael Max Nobby, when the best local television station in the Bronx recaptured the second most coveted trophy in sports after the Heisman. The centerpiece of Sunday's 17th annual Latino Sports Celebrity Basketball Game and Family Day was none other than the perennial battle between BronxNet and Latino sports on the blacktop at Orchard Beach. Motivated by the powerful message of better health, hoops took center stage on the Joe Pops Cruz Memorial Court at the Bronx Riviera. And Latino sports raced out this year in the first half, looking to make it 2 straight. But BronxNet and its executive director, Michael Max Nobby, drew inspiration from the Bronx Strong campaign. His eyes were closed! Baskets followed, along with the meaningful words of inspiration. from the huddle.
This team is going to get lazy on defense the other side, but we're not. That's right, baby. Bronx strong, 1, 2, 3, Bronx strong.
Although Latino Sports led by one at the half, BronxNet climbed back in the third and fourth quarters, erasing a double-digit deficit behind most valuable player Bobby Mahoney.
People run up and down the court, ladies walking about. It's the energy is fantastic. You know, my only concern is I've watched that scoreboard and I'm seeing baskets go in and they're not necessarily registering with the scorekeepers.
A mixture of Joes and pros clashed on the asphalt, but in the end, Bronx Strong would not be denied in 2012 as BronxNet, your #1 community television station, rose to the occasion.
And the game is over, ladies and gentlemen. Latino Sports versus BronxNet, and it goes to BronxNet, Michael Nabi. We had a great game, Michael.
And BronxNet has rightfully reclaimed the trophy, taking it back home where it belongs, to the BronxNet studios.
I teach, not just basketball, all sports, to come out, run, exercise, stretch, and to be outside, be outdoors.
You could exercise. You're not going to die. You're going to have fun, and you're going to enjoy yourself. Keeping health as a priority.
Just seeing, likes of you and BronxNet and Latino Sports and all the guys that come out to the summertime and watch the games, just to play with them one last time for the summer. It's always, always special, memorable for me.
It's a serious thing. In our communities, there are health issues that are affecting our friends, our family, our neighbors, and we've got to look out for our folks by raising awareness about healthy eating. And I'm really proud of our guys, I got to tell you, Bobby. And Latino Sports was a very formidable opponent today.
Final score, BronxNet 106, Latino Sports 98. BronxNet was champions of the Blacktop in 2012, and although the Bronx Bombers failed to clinch World Series title number 28, the New York Yankees came awfully close this fall, clinching the American League East title, then a first-round victory over the Baltimore Orioles before falling to Detroit in the ALCS. We begin with a look back at the division crown, and then we take a walk down recent memory lane for the Yankees' man of the hour, Raul Ibanez, who had some of the most dramatic walk-off home runs in postseason history. Raul takes the 6th spot.
Raul had to come through. Raul's, had some kind of day for us today, and you have to make some decisions sometimes that are tough decisions. But I just had a gut feeling. Talked about it in the pregame about being a great pinch hitter, and you got a left-handed hitter who's a low ball hitter in a sense, and you got a low ball pitcher, and I just kind of had a gut feeling.
I think the tendency late in the game when the game's tied is, I think as players we try to do a little too much, and I was trying to fight that feeling, trying not to do too much, and fortunately it worked out.
That's great. Definitely lifts us up, put us in a lead right now with an opportunity to win tomorrow.
Ibanez would win an MLB Gibby Award for Best Playoff Moment. The Yankees could not overcome the Tigers in the League Championship Series, but Ibanez served up some hope that they might along the way. Then again, the Bronx Bombers are all about hope in the borough, the shining beacon of light for sports fans and for those in the community searching for a helping hand. Hope Week takes number 5 on my top 10 New York sports stories of 2012. Hope Week, now in its 4th year, was created by Yankees Media Relations Director Jason Zillo, who says the initiative, which stands for helping others persevere and excel, is rooted in the fundamental belief that acts of goodwill provide hope and encouragement to all involved.
Every year this week comes, and every year it's the same thing. It's like the night before is like Christmas Eve. You just can't wait to get to the event and see the looks on the people's faces that we're trying to honor.
That's what Hope Week is about. It's helping others, but also spurring others on to help others. And if we can make that small difference to get people back out there and volunteering, our world would be such an amazing place.
There were plenty of smiles to go around Monday, and they didn't just come from the faces of the kids.
Just spending time with the kids and seeing Owen happy and telling me about his favorite baseball stories. That's why we're here.
Tune in next Friday as the countdown continues here on Open. We'll have number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1.
And welcome back to the studio, and don't go anywhere because when we return, we're going to be unveiling Nelson's completion of his painting. We'll be right back.
See
And if you're looking for a deal,
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
Hello, welcome back to Open, and it's almost time for the unveiling of the live painting session that's been going on throughout the entire hour show. Please welcome back Nelson Santiago, who's still in his process. However, we're going to talk to him as he continues drawing, because this is a very fascinating process. So, you know, when you were sitting down prior to your drawing, I hope this isn't like too much of a disturbance in your process. You said you didn't know what you were going to draw, and I'm just curious to know where this was pulled from.
I just actually, I'm just been involved in some talk. I'm going to be part of a project where we're trying to bring awareness to what's going on in the crime in Puerto Rico, and how the murder rate has gone way too high. People are just it's like they have no respect for life now, and it's really hard. And there's a lot of people that are scared and nervous to leave their homes. And I'm going to be soon going to be in a part of a project where we're going to try to help bring awareness to that. And I was just thinking about a woman, and I was making a little teardrop on it. I was going to paint the flag on the teardrop, and that's what's been on my. I guess I've been involved in that lately, so that's what's been on my mind.
That's interesting. That is that's actually the campaign that they've been putting out throughout Facebook, right?
Exactly, yeah. There was a gentleman, his name was Jose Enrique.
Yes.
And he was brutally murdered. Not only was he murdered, but he was tortured. And there's been a large campaign now, and I was just so concerned about it, and just thinking, it's such a beautiful island. It's such a rich history, and this is what it's come to. It's very sad.
It is sad, and it's sad that we're here in the holiday seasons. I mean, not, you as an artist, you go with what, flows through you. But, here we are, supposed to be in a celebratory time of the year.
Right.
And what the first thing that comes to your mind is the suffering that's going on our beautiful island, La Isla del Encanto. And I applaud you for bringing this into light. It's just very interesting that that's what's inspiring you right now.
Right. Yeah, I know it's the holiday, even more because it's the holiday season.
Yeah, but you know what? We've got a lot of people still, recovering from the Sandy relief. I'm not putting you down or anything like that. It's just, there's this awareness that is coming to effect on all of our behalves. That really, during this season, during this particular time of the year, gratitude and love are really like standing out right now.
Exactly.
Gratitude and love. That is really the space in which we're like living, because there are people who don't even have homes right now.
Right.
And the fact that you're addressing a safety issue, it's I don't know what that must feel like, to not be able to walk out of your house because, there's a possibility that, there's a gang of people that just may approach you and torture you for being in their path.
Right, right. And wherever you go, there's always something.
Right. But there's mental issues that are actually coming into light, if you notice, throughout the end of this year. Again with the Sandy Hook School, Newtown. That was an issue. I mean, and not to bring up all these tragedies. It's just that it just seems that this year has been a mental illness awareness that really needs to come into light. Right.
And hopefully, if I help bring awareness to it and other people as well, like I said, think maybe we could do some real change. Hopefully, that's my goal. And not only that, I've been part of other fundraising projects to help with domestic violence, MS. I've been involved as well. I've done canvases and shows for things like that. And
we applaud your charity.
Thank you.
Because it's important. It's important. I don't know if people understand the importance of charity. Charity, it's paying forward, and paying forward in the sense of just bringing light to situations that are, possibly kept silent. And the idea is that, we stand for each other.
Absolutely. And, the other thing, too, about it, that there weren't things like that when I was a kid, and now I notice it, especially here in New York, especially in the art community. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's really close with everyone. Mm-hmm. And if, someone needs help with some type of project, like I was at a toy drive recently, everyone's there to come out and support them and help them out. So
I don't want to stop you from drawing because the show is going to be over soon.
Yeah.
Right? So I want you to keep talking to me, but however, if I'm disturbing you, please say so.
No, I'm fine.
Because I'm watching you add layers on to the colors that you've already put down, and this has just been a very interesting process to observe in such a short period of time, and I can't wait to see the final product. In it being a woman, is there any particular reason you made it a woman? Since we already referenced that, the campaign for Puerto Rico is, I am Jose Enrique.
Well, maybe because most of those, who suffers the most? Mothers, losing their sons, their daughters, their own mothers. The ones who suffer the most is the mother. And, I think about my mom. I can imagine if, God forbid she lost any one of us, it would be devastating to her. Not that it wouldn't be devastating to my dad, but, my mother, we grew inside her. We had 9 months.
Who is this woman?
Well, nobody, just
a woman.
Just out of the head. Just out of my head.
Just out of your head.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. All right, so I don't know, do we have any Christmas music in the meantime? I mean, not that, this is a celebratory painting, but it is a celebratory painting because there's an awareness being brought into light, during the holidays. And once again, with regards to the holidays, it's truly about, okay, I'm trying to figure out which camera. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Hey, 3. All right, so, okay, so as Nelson finishes up the painting, just in sharing with everyone, of course, the holiday season, everybody celebrates different holidays, and of course we want to acknowledge everyone. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Feliz Dia de los Reyes, and at the end of the day, if you're, stressed or struggling with the opportunities to purchase gifts or things of that nature, this is a perfect opportunity to just go inside and reflect on the gifts in which you already have. And I think that's part of what this discussion is today, and the fact that he's drawing a woman and and he's referencing mothers. I don't know, maybe this is an opportunity for you to give your mother a hug and give her a kiss and just say you love her, just because, instead of stressing over buying a gift. How about the warmth of a hug? These are just ideas, and for those who tend to get really stressed out during the holidays, I think we tend to commercialize it, and it becomes all about gifts, and the gifts truly come from a place of just living with gratitude. And with that said, I think we're almost towards the end of Nelson Santiago's fantastic painting. It has been an absolute pleasure having him here on set, drawing live. throughout the entire show. And are we ready to reveal, or are you still missing the Puerto Rican flag?
Yeah, that's what I want. That'll take me 2 seconds.
It's going to take him 2 seconds. What's from the bottom of my heart? Oh, okay. We're looking at some images of Nelson Santiago that I guess you can visit on his website, right? Or More Arts. Krylon, I thought you were letting go of that era. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Every once in a while, it creeps back up on me.
Interesting. Your characters are very interesting. He's the Hulk.
Yeah, that was like when I was a kid. I started drawing.
Is that painting? Is that with paint?
That's paint. That's all acrylic and spray paint.
And who's this baboom? She looks like she's here in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. We've been able to share some of your other artwork. Beautiful. So how long does it take you to make something like that?
That one there, that took me about 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours, and the other one, the Hulk, probably took a couple of days.
Okay, so here we go. Here we are. Here we are. And this is Nelson Santiago's painting of a woman tearing with a Puerto Rican flag. And what do you have to say to everyone?
Thank you, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
And thank you for sharing your wonderful talent. It was a different form of highlighting an open artist, so thank you for that. Okay, that's it, guys. And once again, we want to thank Nelson and for his art. And once again, you can check him out by going to rawartist.org/NelsonAK21. And of course, you can find him on Facebook. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. So we'd like to thank all of our guests for stopping by and sharing their work with us. And we send love to you, the viewers, for watching. And if you missed any part of the show, you can tune into the Recablecast tonight at 5:10 p.m. And of course, past episodes are available online by going to bronxnet.org. Once again, I'm Rina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, have a fantastic weekend. May the universe provide peace, prosperity, and love. And of course, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.